Well, it's day 22, and it's time for us to get out of Osaka. But since our plane leaves in the late afternoon, we've got time to kill first. And so we're going to go to the Big Bang Osaka. Ooh, sparkling coffee. It's too bad I already had breakfast. Dang. And here's one of those times when Google Maps lets you down again. We got stuck between optimal train times, and so instead of having us wait for the next train, it wanted us to walk about 1.5 miles across town to a different train that was going in the same direction as ours. Oh well, it's one way to see town. So the Big Bang is kind of a giant play structure. It's got multiple floors of entertainment. On one floor you'll find vintage games and a Showa era theme. On another floor is going to be dinosaurs in a prehistoric world. There's also a giant tower you can climb up, which I opted not to.
A few moments later.
Irusai!
We only have that stuff. And that stuff. It's a retro toy store.
Oh. Oh, boomerang!
You just tell us.
You know, I always wondered what it was like to get digested by a space crocodile. And now I know. But in general, it's not a bad way for your kids to stay entertained. Best of all, they do have air conditioning, and in the middle of July, that's the most important thing. Well, it's getting late, so we better go get some lunch while we still have time. So for lunch, we chose Korean food. I had a beef bulgogi bowl over by the train station. And I might as well grab a beverage while I'm waiting for the train. Looks like apple cider today. And yes, the apples do taste different here. So funny story, we had about 2.5 hours to get from the Big Bang back to our hotel to pick up our bags, and then to the airport. And everything was going perfectly until there was a train delay, and we sat in the tracks for 20 minutes while nothing happened. So wouldn't you know it, we missed our train and barely got to the airport on time. But lucky for us, the staff at Japan Airlines was more than willing to rush us through the airport. We got there with 5 minutes to spare before the doors closed. But somehow we were still the first people on the plane. That part's a little strange.
Mama.
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 You see Mama.
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 皆様、ただいまドアが閉まりました。皆様の着席を確認の上、出発いたします。シートベルトを腰巻きという位置で、緩み、水気のないようにしてください。
And to a warm welcome, we arrived in Matsuyama, my wife's hometown from her high school years and beyond, the land of tangerines, Ehime Prefecture. This is where my wife went to high school in Japan, and it's the city that got me interested in Japan when she introduced me to it. Now mass transit here is pretty good, so we hopped on the local bus and transferred over to Matsuyama Station. And then we had Chinese food for dinner. But I don't know what it was.
Baby's eating whatever this is, Bob. I think it's dessert. Kimchi style bean shoots. Yeah.
And pot stickers. I know what those are.
It is a nugget, but it's hot. I mean, it's going to burn himself when he eats it.
And afterwards we hopped on the streetcar and transferred over to Dogo Onsen. That's where we're going to find our minshu for the night. What's a minshu? That's kind of a low-cost, family-run hotel. So in a minshu, you basically have to make your own bed. It's not that big of a deal, but you save a lot of money. This is the room we started with, but spoiler alert, we're going to get an upgrade later. And just so you know, wooden shoes are for outside, slippers are for inside. And there's nothing more fun than carrying luggage upstairs while wearing slippers. I only tripped like 17 times. It was kind of funny, actually. Well, that's it for day 22. Day 23 is coming up, and we're going to go shopping around Dogo Onsen. But then, we're going to Matsuyama Castle, which is my favorite castle, and I hope I can do it some justice in my video.